We all know that we have this warm fluid called blood flowing through our bodies. We even know that we need blood in order to stay alive. Things that you may not fully know or understand are exactly what blood is, what it is made up of, and how it is maintained. Blood is a type of tissue of our body that contains cells, chemicals, and other substances. Now on to the other two questions. About 45% of our blood is composed of what we refer to as formed elements. You likely call them blood cells. There are different types of blood cells found in our blood. Let's look at those now. The first type of blood cells are the erythrocytes, or as they are commonly called, red blood cells or RBCs. These are the most numerous of the three types of blood cells. RBCs have the job of transporting oxygen and carbon dioxide. There are approximately 4.2 to 6.2 million RBCs per cubic millimeter of blood at any given point in time. The next type of blood cell is the leukocyte, also known as white blood cells or WBCs. These are members of our body's defense team since they protect us from invading bacteria and other pathogens. There are anywhere from 5,000 to 9,000 per cubic millimeter of blood. Not all leukocytes are the same. There are 5 different WBCs. The majority of our WBCs are neutrophils, making up around 65% of the WBCs. Lymphocytes make up 25% of the WBCs, and monocytes make up about 5%. Small amounts of eosinophils and basophils are also found in the blood, making up 4% and 1% respectively. The last of the 3 blood cell types are the thrombocytes, commonly referred to as platelets. These are also the tiniest of the blood cells. Platelets work in the body to help stop the bleeding whenever a blood vessel is damaged. We have 140,000 to 340,000 platelets per cubic millimeter of blood. The other 55% of our blood is composed of plasma. Plasma is the liquid portion of blood. Since this portion is liquid, you probably have figured out that the main component in plasma is water. Water makes up about 90% of the plasma. So what is in the other 10% of the plasma? Well, proteins make up about 8% of plasma. There are 4 different types of proteins in the plasma. The most abundant of the plasma proteins at 57% are albumins. It is responsible for helping to maintain blood volume. Globulins are another plasma protein. They make up 38% of the proteins in the plasma, and they work with the WBCs. Fibrinogen at 4% and prothrombin at 1% are the final 2 plasma proteins, and they help in the clotting process. The smallest portion of the blood plasma is made up of an assortment of different solids. These make up the remaining 3% of the plasma. Some solids you'll find in the plasma are ions or electrolytes, such as potassium, sodium, and calcium. Various nutrients needed by the body, like glucose, amino acids, and lipids, and waste products from metabolism like urea, uric acid, and creatinine, are also found in the plasma. Oxygen and carbon